I am the co-founder with Julia of Digital Evolution Institute, but I also come from investing in venture, former investment banker, and then left and started investing in venture personally, and started Inspire Global Ventures, and that's what you saw before, which is this company. And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to present one of the portfolio companies in Inspire Global Ventures, which is Jaspi. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about venture and how the market has changed so radically from the West Coast to the East Coast to today, and given what happened on the West Coast with some of the banking institutions and how the market changed completely. The reason venture prospered so much on the West Coast is because we had so many universities that were focused on creating very talented people. They're engineers, visionaries, that the market was completely open to entrepreneurs. And California grew as an entrepreneur place. People as entrepreneurs came there because they had the ability to create whatever they wanted. And so that's where really venture, grew for the last 30 plus years, even more than that, really 40 plus years. That has all changed. And so along with it, valuations have changed. So originally in California, there was so much free money. You could do a seed startup, you could do a Series A funding, you could do any kind of company, and you really didn't have to have a product. It was just an idea. It didn't matter, you got funding. There was so much funding in the marketplace. It was like the next great idea. They were looking for the next Elon Musk. They were looking for all of the next entrepreneurs. And so what happened was there was so much money in the marketplace. There was loans to entrepreneurs, for home loans, for more everything from the banks, including Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic Bank. That has all changed since 2023. As we all know, the market changed completely. So now venture and the way deals are valued has changed completely. So between seed and Series A seed round is now not only an idea, but you actually have to have some kind of product. You can't just go out in a seed round and go, hey, I have an idea. Well, that's for the friends and family round. Now the idea is like a seed really has to have a product or some kind of product that's built. And then Series A, you actually have to have customers, clients, and potentially revenue. So the market has changed completely to where it was pre-2023. And so what I'm going to talk about here is we saw a lot of, Julia did an incredible job, and the other speakers did an incredible job providing the background and the statistics on where the market went from public to private and the investments of the transition of how investors are now looking at private alternatives. And so I am actually going to do none of those, and it's going to be a very visual presentation. So I'm starting with why. So why now? The world is huge and impossibly diverse, you know this, but technology elevates all of us. And financial technology makes dreaming easier and helps us take chances. And let's talk about, one of the speakers brought up democratization, so it's happening now. Now, a lot of people said, oh, this already happened, it's happened in venture, democratization happened from the Jobs Act, and accredited investors were able to invest, and happened way before that. No, I think the acceleration is happening now. So the downturn in venture has caused the fast-forward acceleration in democratization in this space, not only in technology, but the investment of venture deals, because now, mostly private alternatives, it was a very opaque market. So you were lucky to get your data from PitchBook, from Crunchbase. You were like, oh, I have to have a subscription to PitchBook or Crunchbase because they had the data, they had the information. That is all changing. And it's changing from the alternative marketplaces, from the platforms you're going to see after mine. It is changing completely. AI is changing that market. So what's going to happen is the acceleration of private alternatives is going to happen so fast, and it's accelerating now, that you're going to see more and more investors have the ability and the information to be able to invest with the information that they have available, not only from the marketplaces, but also from some of the large public companies, whether it's a JP Morgan. We could talk about some of the platforms they're buying, but in any event, this is happening very fast. And so technology is increasing this information in alternatives. And so because it's less opaque, the data and information is less opaque, there's so much information now that is going to be accurate. AI is allowing documents to be scanned. So if you invested in Series A, but you really don't have a cap table unless you get in touch with someone like Carta, or to be able to track it, all the documents are being scanned now. And so what happens is you go onto a platform that has those documents and they'll tell you what the cap table is. So this kind of marketplace is really accelerating and growing. So now is the time. And so I talked about a company that is one of our portfolio companies called Jaspi. And Jaspi was created to create simplicity for investors to be able to track private alternatives in a different way than what you're going to see the alternative marketplaces that are going to present today. And there's many in the room, Buy, Capture, and they're all exceptional. Mercer, they're all doing great things in the space. And there'll be many winners. There's not just one here. There's so much demand for private alternatives, you're going to need multiple platforms. So what I'm saying is now is the time to organize, to track, to manage, and to simplify, but to make it personal. To have your own customized technology to manage and store your own alternative assets. So what you're seeing on the screen is, and what I'm going to show you, is Jaspi really focuses on individual pages. It focuses on your individual pages that you create for any of your alternative assets. What you're seeing on the screen right here is one of the pages for arts and one of the pages for residence. So this is kind of what Jaspi is. Jaspi is your own file cabinet. So you can go to the market, you can go to any of the platforms, any information, and you look at any deals, and then you can go to your own file cabinet, you can go to your own refrigerator, and you can put in any of these private venture deals. You know, your neighbor who's your best friend, his kid started a deal, and he's doing a technology platform, and you're interested in investing. So here is Jaspi, it's in the center. So you get deal flow from personal conversation, alternative marketplaces, you get it from the website, you get it from others in your group or family, because more than one person could take a look at Jaspi and be part of your Jaspi group. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this. Is there any questions? I'm going to actually show you some of the pages here. So here we go. So there's a couple of home pages that you can structure in Jaspi, but this is an example of one. So you get to list things out as programs. So every single category here has different pages to it. So you can have your insurance here, you can have your racehorses, your yachts, autos, planes, you can have your private company holdings, for example. You can have your real estate holdings, you can have that all customized in here. On the right-hand side, you put the tags for whatever data you want to bring in here. So you decide whether it's digital assets, whether it's real estate holdings. It'll bring in data from a number of sources. And if there's a source that you want to have here, you can add it here. So the entire system is customizable. And as a matter of fact, Julia was a CTO. So I know how exceptional the system is because she was the technology person on it. So this is a sample of a company called CrowdStreet. It's one of the pages. And there's 4 sections to every page: intelligence, ecosystem, productivity, and financials. But better yet, you could actually put Jaspi in any one of your folders. So you can go into private company holdings, you can go into zone wealth advisors, you can put it into 10 if you want. Let's say it's in real estate holding and it's a alternative asset holding, you can name it any way you want. So I want to go into, not only does it have about, quick statistics, similar companies and news, and then location, but if I go into financial, this is what's very different about this system. Not only does it have the investment history, which is pulled in, but you're able to actually put in your financial rounds here. So if you show transactions, you can actually add in any transaction type. And all the coding is set up for the different transactions. Convertible notes, common stock, you can actually enter this yourself. So this is your own file cabinet for all your private alternative assets. And so in this case, there was investments made in Series A, Series A1, and Series C. And then you're able to actually check the valuation and the dates. You can update it, and the system generates it for you when you put in your own private investments. So that's what I want to show you. The other thing is, I showed you the financial transaction. This is another page where you can have an entire portfolio listed. and it will roll up to a valuation, and this is all customizable. So here's an example. This is all the companies in this fund, and then you can do the additional funds, but you can also do this not only based on funds, you can do it based on your own portfolio. So if you have a private alternative, then you have another asset, then you have your home, and you can start rolling up to the value of the business, or the value of your actual portfolio. So with that, I'm going to end the presentation, but if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But I'm just, I am a big believer in what's going on in this space. I think it's very exciting. I think the democratization is just starting. I'm going to put that back on the screen because I'm really a big fan of that. I think it's just, I really think the acceleration is just starting, and I think everyone that's presenting today, all of the presenters and all the exchanges and all this information, the more information is going to create this acceleration, and it's a very exciting time for everybody that is investing in this space, everybody that's creating products in this space. It seems like it's not early days, but it is early days. It's just moving so fast. And we're seeing it. And even the venture business on the West Coast is starting to come back from the dead, let me put it that way. They're starting to come back. So it's been a really interesting time, but out of the negativity of what happened in venture, created some form of acceleration in the space. Thanks everyone. If anyone has any questions, happy to chat.